What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. This video is actually going to be a podcast clip. We recorded about an hour-long podcast, and over the next couple of days, I'm going to be putting out those clips with a little bit of intro. There wasn't a lot of structure to it. It was just me and Joshua talking with our buddy AJ, who's a Chiefs fan, just kind of talking about the Chiefs and this upcoming game and how the seasons have gone overall. So this is the first section. Let me know in the comment section down below. I will be putting out videos in addition to these, but I just wanted to give this preview so you guys aren't like, what the heck is going on right now? But this is part one. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. This is the Truzz the Bank podcast. If you can't tell, we're with a special guest today, friend of the show, AJ. AJ, do you want to introduce yourself for everybody?
Hey, how we doing, everybody? I'm Relentless41 on Twitter, AJ Taurus or Relly Taurus, depending on what platform you follow me on. I am a longtime Chiefs fan. If anyone wants to give any doubt, I will more than happily grab my first Chiefs jersey at the time, gifted to me in 2004. It was Priest Holmes. So I wanted to come prepared because last time I was on the show, it was about the Orlando Brown Jr. trade, and everyone talked shit saying I was not a fan. I have taken the blows like Damian Tomlinson and Peyton Manning were my daddy for well over a decade, and we did not have a solid, consistent offense until Mr. Andy Reid came to town. So, to say the least, I'm here, and, well, me and McConaughey have a lot of history. He's the one that gave me confidence one of them, give me confidence to speak in front of a microphone and talk sports. This is back in 2020. Seems like a while ago, and I always have respect for you. And I remember when Truzz the Bank was under 100 subs, man. It's been crazy. It's an amazing journey so far. And hats off to you and Joshua. You guys have my respect. But let's talk some ball, man.
Yeah, it's exciting. We didn't play the Chiefs this year because the Ravens haven't been winning their division recently, which means it's harder to play the Chiefs because the Chiefs are going to win every year. But
not if Harbaugh gets that Chargers job, man.
Oh, that's true. I would love to see Harbaugh get that.
He's giving me heartburn, but yes, besides the fact.
Yeah, and so it's like we finally get to see the Ravens play the Chiefs again, and finally Greg Roman is gone. So the Ravens actually have a coordinator. Now, they did play without Greg Roman once. They played in the regular season. Lamar Jackson's only rookie loss was to Patrick Mahomes, and that was the first game. That was like the first instant classic between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes in 2018. And it was just like, what's funny is you go back and watch the game and you're like, dude, why is Lamar throwing to John Brown and Michael Crabtree right now? But like it was somehow still working.
It's been really crazy. And there's been so many things I wanted to speak to you, as far as everything else goes. Do you remember this recent off season when the report cards came out?
Yeah.
Remember as far as the trainers, the Ravens were the only team that got an F?
Yes, they did.
And I'm like, so hold on. When we have Rashad Bateman hurt and he says he's having a hard time recovering, who's that on? Lamar's leg injuries, who's that on? When all these running backs are constantly getting hurt, to me, that's a conditioning flaw. Who's that responsible? And listen, I've dealt with it being a Yankee fan with all these old heads being in there for too long. When there's a problem, when our stars are getting there, and particularly when your quarterback is not healthy, there's a problem. And in football, the turnaround rate is an all-time high. But the one thing is that I think we got to change the narrative because a few things. Number one, this for John Harbaugh being the head coach for the Ravens for all these years. So number one, a head coach isn't going to have his full system in place until at least 3 years. And if not, you're going to be in this head coach flip-flop in and out like a public restroom saying, oh, this is my system. It's not in place yet. Oh, I don't have my guy, aka my quarterback yet. And looking at the division like the AFC East, where outside the Patriots, it's, hey, I want this head coach. Hey, I want my guy. Yeah, and that's why you all sucked for 20 years.
Yeah.
The Ravens have been consistent. And outside offensive play calling, which that bastard's gone. It's like, I mean, some of the play call and stuff, like the fans are not stupid. The NFL media has to realize this. The fans are not stupid. Are they drunk? Are they savages? Yes, but they're not stupid. At the end of the day, when Monday comes along, or in some cases Tuesday comes along, and they think about it, they know what's in front of their face. Like, look at the Eagles. They said that their offensive coordinator wasn't returning. They're going to have a third offensive coordinator in what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Still the same system. Now, granted, right? I think Sirianni should still be an assistant coach because I mean, it's not all on Sirianni. It was the play calling all year long, but good luck because you have your third coordinator in 3 years.
Yeah.
Whereas you
like,
guys, you have your system
you got to
intact. You
hire
guys can
so
win
many
all this
people.
year. Yeah.
I think one thing you brought up was the Ravens and their injury problems. They did fire their strength and conditioning coach, Steve
They
Saunders, this
had
year.
to. You can't.
And guess what? Lamar finished the year healthy.
Yes.
Like, they did
So
lose some guys, but like Lamar was healthy. That's all that
injuries are every
matters.
year. Look at the injuries all this year, the last couple years. We get it. It's a
Yeah.
contact sport, and we forget about that. And the one thing is in pro sports we forget about is rest. Like, for instance, there's some organizations that go, hey, is Wednesday going to be a rest day after we practice on Tuesday? Or are we going to do full sprints for 3 days a week and Tuesday's our rest day? When you go from a full contact sport to, okay, we're on the plane. Okay, we're traveling to here. Guess what, guys? Hard workout Tuesday after a hard Monday night game. Like, these processes,
Yeah.
I I can't fathom them because some of them do not know what the hell they're doing. It doesn't matter if you're an aging wide receiver like Odell. It doesn't matter if you're the running back room. And, we know the shelf life on these running backs nowadays, particularly with big contracts, to Lamar, who has finally been able to tell everybody to suck it. And think about it. A year ago, you were probably sitting on this podcast in front of the mic saying, I hope he signed long term. And the fact that he was able to explore with other teams trade options. Now, if you're Indiana and you're like, hey, okay, do we go with the 4th or 5th overall pick and take a guy we like, or surrender 3 draft picks and pay a ton of money who we have questions, which that I understand. But if you're a team like Atlanta, well, you whiffed.
Yeah.
If you're a team like Tampa, okay, salary cap hell, but you might have found something that's going to be a Geno Smith contract. Panthers, you whiffed because you're a garbage organization. There's 5 to 10 teams where they badly screwed up because they could have Lamar Jackson, a potential MVP of this year, on their team. And they decided, I'm going to sell for mediocrity.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that so many teams saw Lamar Jackson and they're like, nah, I think we want to go with our strategy and we want to draft someone. And it's like, sure, if you want to draft someone, but at the same time, like, there's not 5-star quarterbacks in every draft. Like, the fact that every team goes out there and they're like, oh yeah, we think we got our guy. Like, we're like, you're drafting the 4th quarterback available. So like a team like I look at it with Atlanta this year and
The
like
problem
trading for
is,
Fields.
sorry about that, but if you have a top 5 pick, I could understand why you do not want to give up the number 5 pick along
Yeah.
with 2 more firsts. And depending on how it goes, it could be another top 10 pick because you're going to be surrendering a lot of draft capital, guys in walk years. If you're picking in the top 5, I maybe even top 10, depending on where you are, but definitely top 5, I understand. But everybody else, it's like, okay, I got a mid-round draft pick. I have no quarterback. I have no long-term deals. I don't know what direction I'm going in. Why do you not start with quarterback? When you
Yeah.
build a team, it's like, okay, I got a great offensive line. Great. Who's behind it? I don't know. Figure it out. Look at how many great teams the Broncos had, but nobody good behind center. And the
And like, why
offensive
did the
line was holding
Jets
up
go
at the
after
time.
Aaron Rodgers when you could get someone who's 26 years old who's already won an MVP. Like, why are you going after the much older guy that you're going to pay the same amount of money as Lamar Jackson is getting?
So the fact that the Jets, right, and my father is a long and suffering Jets fan.
Yes.
And one thing is, I remember, and some people are like, how the hell did that happen? There's so many radio hosts that I listen to, and when they say, wait, you made your kid a Jet fan? Please tell me. And there's some of them that actually ask their kid to like go on to hold the phone and answer the question. Why did your dad make you a suffering Jet fan? Basically, me and my father kind of looked at each other and he's like, I don't want to do this to you. And I just said, thank you. And here I am. I had to pick my own destiny. I went with my Native American heritage and I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm proud of it. And after my suffering years, I have 2 rings I'll be able to tell people for hopefully a long time coming. Josh, been some time, man. How we doing, brother?
Hey AJ, man, I've been pretty good, man. How you been doing, brother?
It's been a tough couple of months, but I'm here, Brody.
Hey, that man. I'm glad you on the up and up and you here with us, brother.
I mean, I gotta say though, this is kind of nerve wracking for me, man. I have no idea like who's going to. I might get reamed in the comment section like we did with the last video, but I'll take it on the chin. That's fine. But these are high stakes, and again, one goes to the Super Bowl, one goes to the golf course. And I've been hating the narrative for my team all year long. You have no idea.
I want to ask you something, AJ, because I know
Enlighten
you're
me.
going to have an interesting opinion on it.
As far as any question that involves my team, this matchup, your team, by all means, fire away. I'm ready.
What are your thoughts being a long-standing Chiefs fan? Taylor Swift obviously is now overtaking a lot of the narrative with your team. What do you like? Are you happy about that they're getting more coverage, or is it annoying?
So, to be honest with you, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not all their fault. Because if you look at it, the last 3 years, right? The last 3 years, as far as Chiefs media, year 1, Patrick's wife.
Yeah.
Year 2, Patrick's brother, that piece of shit. And now it's year 3. Hey, thanks for taking it off of Patrick, Kelsey. But, he's lost a step. He's not 1,000 yards. Yeah, but guess what? He sat out the last game. You act as if he's like a scrub. Guess what? He still made the Pro Bowl. Could have got 1,000 yards if he wanted to. You're telling me that, 14 yards difference? You make that him going from, he's at 1,000. He's not at 500. He's 14 yards shy. Shut the hell up. For all the people that are on the bandwagon, the guy's a 2-time Super Bowl champion before he shot his shot at Taylor Swift. Okay, they're dating. Okay, she thinks he's a man's man. Okay, the NFL wanted to cater to get a women audience. It just so happened to be now that Patrick's wife and now are besties. And every time they put the camera over her, now they're calling Patrick's father a creep because they hug when they score a touchdown? You're telling me when your team doesn't score and you're all partying, drinks are flowing, you don't hug everybody in the room? Come on. It's all bullshit. It's all everyone trying to make a bad false narrative. And the guys at TPS Sports are the worst. Those writers are the scum of the earth. They're something you find in the gutter, throw in a trash bag and wait for the transfer the freaking sanitation company to pick up. What a disgrace. Taylor Swift don't bother me. The media can go pound sand.
And that's the bad part about it. Like, it's literally the media, creating the narrative. I mean, no, Savannah James, I'm not going to say she hasn't done anything of significance outside of being, married to, LeBron James. But, if she's at the game, you see her, if LeBron's having a great game, the camera ends up getting, taking a shot of Savannah, how she roots, for her husband. I'm pretty sure if Jay-Z was playing some type of sport and Beyonce, was at the, in the stands, it would be the same thing. I don't know.
But there's no false narrative about LeBron's wife. There's Think about it. When
No,
Brittany
true.
when Brittany Mahomes sits down on a diner, they want to make a story out of it. When Mrs. James sits down at game side, it doesn't matter if she has a drink in her hand. There's no caption saying LeBron's wife drunk on Sideshow tonight on this sports network. No, there's none of that. You didn't say that about any guy. Now, I'm not going to compare LeBron James, who is top 3 in his sport of all time, to Kelsey's woman, or I mean, if you want, or say that Kelsey's a top 5 tight end. I mean, the list is heavy, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to say it's a lock because you got Kellen Winslow, Antonio Gates, you got Unk,
Yeah.
you got
Tony
Gronk.
G.
So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Tony Gonzalez. I had somebody say, bro, sorry, I know you're a Chiefs fan, but I got Kelsey at number 6. And I say, sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because he had Winslow, he had Sharp, he had Gates, Gonzalez, Gronkowski. And I'm like, dude, you put together a solid list. You want to put Kelsey at 6? I'm not losing sleep. My blood pressure's not going up because of a solid list. He got good takes. But the narratives, man, they piss me off. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Lamar, is he going to be a bum? Is this a future project bust? Get some comparable trainers and look what happens.
Yeah.
MVP. Yep. Super Bowl bound. Close.
We hope so. We hope so. Super Bowl bound. We'll see.
Hey, you know what they say? There's an old saying going around. And it is going, haters stay forever, and those haters kiss the rings.
We love it. I think it's funny because like there's not much of an NFL comparison for the Travis Kelce relationship, but there's definitely NBA comparisons because
there's NBA and
unless like Giselle and Tom Brady probably, but that was like pre like social media, so I don't think people cared as much. But I think like the closest is the Kardashians with the NBA and
it's
dating
actually,
like
you
Devin
make a
Booker.
good point because there wasn't even a big thing with Kate Upton and Justin Verlander, and look how many big games he's pitched in his whole life. He's married to her, a supermodel.
Exactly.
And they don't show that like they may show
She's shown, but
Kendall
not
Jenner
every 5
once.
seconds. Now you could say it's
like,
because of the baseball purists, but dude, come on, think about it. Acuna and Matt Olson, you might look at him and just be like, oh my God, he's got a hot wife. She's not going to be shown every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
She's not going to be shown at every home run. Maybe, but those home runs are rare to come by. The guy might be lucky to get 40 home runs, and okay, that's 40 looks of the camera work. What about the other at-bats?
Yeah. And there's 180 games. It's not like it's happening. Like Kelce, I mean, it's like first down. Here you go. Could you imagine?
Yeah, 180 if you make it, 162
every time
maybe, depending.
Devin Booker makes a 3-pointer, they show Kendall Jenner when they were dating. Could you imagine how annoying that would be as a Suns fan? You're like just watching, you're like, oh my God, yeah, she's sitting courtside. Who cares? We're done.
Well, remember, Green Bay's. Oh gosh, I forgot what position the guy played.
Simone Biles' husband.
Simone Biles' husband, yes.
See how y'all just said Simone Biles' husband? Y'all don't even remember. Y'all don't even know the guy's name. Know what position he plays, right, for Green Bay.
Jonathan Owens. Jonathan Owens is his name. Yeah. I know his name. I knew.
And people know Simone Biles. If you take all of the Houston area athletes and make them Mount Rushmore, she's on it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Has to be.
It's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing when you're watching that. I don't want to say like dilutes the broadcast, but it just takes away from the game itself. Like I would rather focus on now after they win or something like that, having a secondary camera angle, or like maybe like the Chiefs Twitter account or Instagram posts a video of the reaction. But why does CBS have to show it all the time?
Because
like,
they saw the increase of the female engagement and they're trying to target it. Now, again, man, trust me. You know how many times I go to a Super Bowl party and somebody goes like, okay, yeah, sweet, the game's on. I don't get it. Like, I have a buddy of mine. I hope he proposes to this woman. We went to a hockey game together in Bruins. They score a goal and she goes, that's a touchdown, right? And I go, no, what are you doing? You can't get worse than that.
Yeah, it's just like, how do you do it? Because obviously it's beneficial for them getting more views and clicks and more interest, but also how do you do that without overdoing it? Because I think they're doing it, they're DTMing right now. They're doing it too much.
Just
Anytime the
remember,
in-game
the
commentators
play
can speak
clock is
on it,
40 seconds.
yeah.
Not everybody is in the huddle or at the line of scrimmage for that whole 40 seconds. You know, you got, hey, I'm trying to listen to the coach. Hey, here's the offensive coordinator. Hey, who's this? Hey, here's a fan that's chugging a beer. There's so much that can happen within that 40 seconds. It's why the cameramen and women do such a great job, the audio people. It's the reason why it's production.
Mhm.
So, granted, percentage wise, it's very low. I think they just rather have, hey, here's a kid that's dancing up and down with a little jersey and let's promote kids. And I feel like they're trying to go with everybody, and not
Yeah.
everybody has a box per se. Granted, I understand what they're trying to do. I just feel like if it was, let's say, what's a good example? Okay, let's say it's the Chargers and Austin Eckler is dating a supermodel who's very famous and she's in the press box. If they showed her after every touchdown drive, regardless if he was a part of it, I think it's a non-story.
Yeah.
They're making it a story. They're wanting to feed it. And again, as much I'm not gonna lie, I'm so sick of it because this is giving me Patriot vibes. And you know
Yeah.
damn well that I live in the tri-state area. I live in Connecticut. I work all over the state of Connecticut. I used to work in the state of New York. And you'd be surprised when I get near the borderline of the Hartford line, I try not to wear anything New York related because that's when all these Bostonese decide to come out of the woodworks and talk out of their ass. Remember, there's Tom Brady, whatever religious figure they worship, then there's Gronkowski. It's just how it works over here.
Do you understand why, like, why everyone wants the Chiefs to lose because of it? I don't know. There's no real
I
way to say it,
totally
but I see on
understand.
social media, like
Listen,
everyone wants the Chiefs to lose, and everyone's like,
I
Lamar's our
totally
last hope.
understand why. And it's not a sour grapes thing, it's a media thing. Now listen, if you want to say, if somebody ever said they're like, AJ, you're a good dude, but dude, you got 2 rings. Can you sit this one out? And I get it. If the Bills won and if it was a clean game, I'm fine with it. Like the
Yeah.
Super Bowl when they lost against the Eagles, and everyone says, which one's your favorite one? And I say the Niners, and they say, why? And I said, we won clean, man, because like the second
Yeah.
game, everything was tiki tack. The field was a mess. The so
Mhm.
many no calls, and then you call one late in the game. Like there was that one moment where I forgot who it was, but he ended up I think he jammed Rice, and I understand the call, but that was more blatant than the last Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And also in the last, what, 2 minutes?
Yeah. It's just
I
like,
mean, it's crazy. Like if the Bills won, I'd be like, hey, good luck against the Ravens, but no offense, but I'm kind of rooting for the Ravens because of this rivalry and such going on. It's, again, I'm not bitter. The only thing that I would be bitter about is if I had to say the only thing I have anything malice towards is probably Tyreek Hill, just simply because the last 2 years, pardon my French, he hasn't shut his fucking mouth. Listen, brother,
yeah.
when the reason why he was drafted so late was because he got in trouble for punching a pregnant woman, his girlfriend at the time. We defended him against, violence against a child, all this bullshit, right? And then you get traded and you want to lie about your contract and lie about this. Okay, we replace you. Okay, dude, everything's fine. Offseason comes around. Shut your mouth. We won a Super Bowl without you. Everybody in the media, shut your mouth. We got to another AFC championship game without Tyreek Hill. I understand he's a talent. I understand this year he was the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. But still, Hill, shut your mouth. off the property.